Hey guys, it's Shaylee. I am making an update video on my twin pregnancy today. I am currently 31 weeks pregnant. I did make a video 8 weeks ago when I was 23 weeks pregnant, so this is my second little sit down video. I have vlogged about a few things, posted some stuff on Instagram, but these sit down videos are kind of like a video journal for me, and I think they're gonna help you if you are pregnant with twins, or you're just curious what it would be like to be pregnant with twins, you're trying to have twins. So much has changed since I made a video at 23 weeks that I don't even know where to start. So let me just show you a bump. This is where we're at. It's literally huge. So I actually go to the doctor tomorrow too at 8:15 in the morning, and I thought, should I just wait to make a video until tomorrow? But I have time right now. My daughter's napping, the lighting is good, my makeup's done because I just got off work. I thought, just sit down and make the video, Shaylee. Get it done. You know how it is if you are pregnant, like sometimes you have energy, sometimes you do not. So I try to like push through when I have energy and get stuff done. So if there's anything groundbreaking tomorrow, I will pop a little video in here and tell you the update. But at the appointments now, they're every 2 weeks, and I just basically get measured. She listens to the heartbeats and I get weighed and we just check in. It's really, really quick because since I am high risk, I go to a special place to get my sonograms. So the regular like OB appointments are very short. So all I can speak to is my 2 week ago one, and I was measuring 40 weeks pregnant. So I was 29 weeks pregnant, 30 weeks pregnant, something like that. And I was measuring 40 weeks. And it's really weird for me to wrap my brain around because that was on a Tuesday, and on Thursday I had a sonogram. And so I got to see the babies and see how big they were. And each twin, they're boys by the way, if you don't know, was about 3 pounds. One was 3.3, I remember, twin B. And then twin A was 3.1 or something. It was a little bit smaller. So it was either 3.0 or 3.1. That means I have over 6 pounds of baby in me and 2 placentas, where my daughter was born at 5 pounds, 13 ounces with 1 placenta. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm already like bigger right here, and I still have 8 weeks to go when she's telling me this, because I think I had just turned 30 weeks, or like the next day I was going to turn 30 weeks. So I was just like, I'm alarmed. Hey, I'm popping in. It's my first chance to sit down real quick. Since my appointment yesterday morning, there was nothing crazy. She measured me. I'm measuring 41 and a half weeks pregnant. So at 31 and a half weeks, I'm 41 and a half weeks size, because obviously there's 2 in there. Oh, I know what else I asked her. So at our local hospital, we don't have a NICU. And my husband and I were wondering, is there like a certain cutoff to where, okay, if you get the twins to this delivery week, you definitely won't need the NICU? Or is there one that's like every 32 week pair of twins is going to need the NICU? You know what I mean? We just don't know. I tried Googling it and it seemed like every hospital has their own procedures and things that they do. So she said here, we really, really, really don't want you delivering before 35 weeks. So that would be first week in September. I'll pop this in the video, but yeah, gotta make it to 35 weeks. And it's so weird because part of me just feels like I'm already at the end. And part of me feels like, no, you gotta hold them in for like 4 more weeks, like another month at least, to be like good chance of them not having to go to the NICU. So that's my little update. The weird thing is I'm still 10 pounds, give or take, less than I was when I delivered my daughter. So my body is smaller, but my belly is bigger, which kind of makes sense because that would be on track for the weeks I was at, you know what I mean? Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to tell you the differences. Like, it's just so weird because everyone's like, do you feel like it's different? I feel like I'm doing a little bit better in the weight department because I started off 10 pounds lighter than I did with my daughter because I had to take Clomid for 4 months to get pregnant with her, and it makes you gain some weight. I only had to take it 1 time to get these twins, which is insane. I never thought that would happen. I have videos on all this. My whole playlist will be below if you want to watch it. So yeah, the weird thing though is too, does that sentence make sense? The weird thing too is it's like an M sometimes. Like when I look down at my belly, if you have 1 baby, it's mostly in the middle, right? It's 1 bump. I can like often see 2 higher points and my belly gets narrower in the middle. It's really weird. So that's something that's different, is I just feel like wider. But yeah, I just feel way bigger. I feel way bigger. Like last time I made my video, I felt like, all right, I'm doing good. Like I'm still trucking along here. These last 8 weeks, I feel like I am pregnant. I'm very pregnant. Like I had to stop working out. I don't take walks anymore. Literally, like this morning I had to walk. I'm not great with measuring stuff, but I would say maybe like 50 yards from my car into where I was working, and I can do it. I'm carrying all my bags, but sometimes it's fine. Other times my entire belly gets tight and I'm huffing and puffing. Like it's just hard on my body sometimes. I went and visited my sister like 3 weeks ago in LA, and so we were walking a lot of places, and I can walk. I want to walk. I'm an active person, but I very much just have to take it slow. And I felt so bad because I kind of snapped at my mom because she's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, yes, Mom, for the millionth time. Like, I'm cool. I just have to walk slow. I can't keep up with you guys power walking. So that's a little frustrating when you're a person who used to walk for happiness. Like I would take walks all the time, almost every single day. And now it's like a defeating feeling in your head because you're just like just to get like from your car into your office. It's weird. So yeah, I wrote notes in my little pizza tablet. My friend Claire got me this a long time ago. It was weird too because I work in education and I was off for the month of July, and then I had to go back to work this last Monday, August 5th. So I've been back a week and I love being back. I love my job, but it does feel a little bit hard physically because I'm having to get up, get ready, get my daughter ready, get out the door, get to work when I just had a whole month off, when it feels like this should be the time I'm winding down, and it feels like I'm revving back up because like school's starting. And I think in one way it's good for me because it's keeping me going, getting me out of the house, all of that, but it does feel a little odd. It just feels like a weird order to things, if that makes any sense. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I haven't been at my new job yet a year, so maternity leave is a little weird, and the only way I would like go out earlier than just having the babies is if I get like on bed rest or something, which I'm definitely not manifesting that at all, because I don't want to be on bed rest. But I keep telling my husband, I feel the need that like all this shit needs to be done, like because like the baby room, like our baby room isn't done. We got some progress on it. I'm making a video on that too. My parents did paint the baby room, which was amazing. They were watching our house for a trip we went on, and so they painted our baby room while we were gone. It's happening. These things are happening, but they're not totally done. We did buy a new car, which is so exciting. I love my new car. It's like feels so grateful. It's beautiful. I just can't believe it's mine. I had to fit 3 car seats, so got that done. Check. I have no hospital bag packed. I have like just nothing done. Like we're not having a baby shower. We're having a meet the babies after party. So I just really need to like nest. And that's what I feel like I'm not getting the opportunity to do as much because now it's like I'm back to work. So I'm just trying to do little things here and there and remain calm. But I also don't have much energy and I physically get worn out. Like the second half of the day is hard, y'all. It's hard. I love sitting like this, like how you just saw me move like with my toes together right here, like butterfly. It feels good to like support myself up so I'm not hunched over or too leaned back. But I am noticing my hip flexors every morning. Like it used to just be at night they would get sore or my feet would get sore. Now I wake up and I feel like my feet are sore and my hip flexors are sore, just kind of around the clock. That's just how it is. I think I'm like widening the bottom half of my body. So I don't know if sitting like this doesn't help, but it does feel more comfortable for me. So I don't know. What else physically? Heartburn is gnarly. I have to take Pepcid Complete or Pepcid Maximum Strength, I think it's called, almost every day. I'm to that point now, plus Tums. I have to sleep pretty propped up. Otherwise, this is so gross. So if you get grossed out by this, maybe skip like 20 seconds ahead. Like the other night, I had a sore throat the next morning because it's just so much like acid, like waking me up in the middle of the night. Like I wake up thinking I'm gonna throw up on the bed. So I like lean up and I'm like, oh, I just swallow it. Like it's like stomach acid because it's just so like, I'm small, like I'm 5'2" and this is all pushed up, you know? So I'm sleeping on 2 pillows, like elevated. And then I have a pillow in front of me, a pillow behind me. I did buy a pregnancy pillow and I like having my own pillows better. I don't know, I don't love the pregnancy pillow I got. Okay, so what else? I feel like I'm making this sound horrible. And in the last video, I was talking about how I just love being pregnant. I have always felt like I got so lucky with my baby girl because I know not everyone has that experience. And I would say like I'm a pretty good person at being pregnant, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm a positive person. I like to think that I'm lucky. I'm not like throwing up. I'm not, you know, totally miserable. But we're getting to the end of being pregnant with twins and I'm like, you know, a little uncomfortable. So these things are happening and I'm trying to remain positive, but I'm not gonna lie, like I cry every couple days, you know? I cried yesterday morning just out of like, I think it's just hormones and feeling a little overwhelmed. My husband's a firefighter. We have a major fire going on in the north state of California. We're very lucky because he's coming home. They put him on 24-hour shifts. So he's coming home every other day because it's sad that the fire is close to us, but because he's stationed so close to us, instead of like going to a hotel for his 24 hours off, he comes home. It's not really 24 hours. Like every other day, he basically gets home by like 11-ish, and then he leaves the next morning at like 5:45 in the morning. So I'm seeing him every other day, but he's worked through the night a lot of the time. He's exhausted. He's trying to be there for me when he can, play with our daughter, help take some of the tasks off of me with my daughter, you know, because that's another thing. Just having a toddler this pregnancy has made it a lot less chill. Like when I was pregnant with her, if I wasn't working, I hung out, you know, and I was just thinking about that. Like I was self-employed last pregnancy, so I went off of work. I was a lash artist at the time, so I was constantly leaning forward. So I had to kind of go off work by a certain point. I went off at 8 months and I stopped working, where now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be 32 weeks in a couple days and I have no off work in sight until these babies come. So it's just all really weird in that way. Oh, I thought of something. Cramps have ended. Like I was having gnarly cramps waking me up at night, like foot cramps, Charlie horses. Every once in a while I'll get one, but it is so much less than it was back at like 23 weeks. So I don't know why, because you would think that would just get worse. But yeah, I'm not like swelling the same as my first pregnancy. Like I still can wear my wedding ring and I'm not getting the cramps as much anymore, where I felt like those kept getting worse with Golden, with my daughter. Like I remember having foot cramps at the end while I was working on weddings, and I would be embarrassed because like I'd have to stop doing makeup to like deal with my foot cramp. What else? Okay, so huge thing that happened. Oh, I wrote that I didn't get to do yoga because I said in the last video, like I was so excited to go try this prenatal yoga. It just didn't work out. We had so many trips in July that I was only going to be able to make one of the days because it's like once a week. I never got to go. So yeah, like that's been a mental thing. Like not being able to exercise has been a bummer, but I know it's only a short period of time. And my husband keeps telling me like, we're probably not going to have any more kids, right? So, you've worked so hard since having Golden to like get your body back and you like look better than ever before you got pregnant. And so this next time you're gonna know that it's just gonna build on itself forever now. Like you're not gonna get pregnant again and have to restart. And I love that he keeps reminding me of that because he's so right. I just want to be healthy and I want my kids to see the lifestyle, because I never really was a person that consistently worked out until the last few years. And I want to be that example for them. And so I'm excited for that part postpartum when it comes. So the huge thing that happened physically that I was going to talk about is I found out I have freaking gestational diabetes, where you have to go and you drink the yucky sugary drink. So they draw your blood, you drink the yucky sugary drink, they make you wait an hour and they draw your blood again. That was the extent of it when I was pregnant with my daughter. This time I had to wait a whole nother hour and try get my blood drawn again. So 2 times after the drink, 1 before. And I guess they have you sit and not move. I don't remember that from the last time. Like I swear I walked out to my car. Sorry, I feel like I get hiccups. I said that in the last video and someone said hiccups. And I'm like, yeah, it's like a hiccup, but it's not consistent. Like it goes away really quick. I don't know what they're called, but that's what I get. Sometimes just when I'm talking too much. Anyway, I basically just sat there for 2 hours and I did not pass. And I was so pissed and emotional about it when I first found out I had gestational diabetes, because like I just was talking about, I pride myself on being pretty healthy, like balanced. Like don't get me wrong, I'm gonna eat pizza, I'm gonna eat true fruit, like I told you in the last video. I'm gonna have a donut if it's someone's birthday or we got donuts. Like I'm not against eating those things. If I have a deli sandwich, I'm getting a bag of chips. But on a regular basis, like I don't eat candy and like processed food and fast food, like typically, you know, I don't drink soda. So being a person who was working out the most like I'd ever worked out being pregnant, and eating, like in January, I just worked with a registered dietitian to do like an entire blood panel to help me get pregnant and healthy and like figure out why I was bloated. So I felt like I was the most educated about nutrition I've ever been and the most mindful. So to get that result, I was just like, what the, literally, that makes no sense to me. And so it was kind of like when I got those results. I have to test my blood 4 times a day. Do I do it all the time? No, because I forget. I'm a mom, I'm busy. I'm supposed to do like a resting, or what's it called, fasting blood sugar test right when I wake up before I have coffee or anything, and then I'm supposed to do it each time after I eat. My doctor explained to me that this is not because you eat terrible or you don't work out. It's just the way that the hormones from the babies, and it might be because they're boys, it might be because there's 2, your body reacts differently than it did last time, and you didn't pass the test because you were 7 points over. I guess they let your blood sugar get to 180 before they say like you have gestational diabetes, which is wild because the highest reading I have gotten since I've been measuring my own is 138. So the fact that my blood sugar was 187 blows my mind. So yeah, they let it get to 180. Mine was 187. Once I drank the sugary drink, my fasting one was totally fine. And she said that one's the most important one, because if that one every morning is fine, then that means my body on its own is doing fine, and the rest can be regulated with food. So like I said, the highest number I've gotten is 138, and I just got that again yesterday. I think it's happened 2 or 3 times, and it's once I ate a ton of bread. So we did maternity photos. I'm eating, like I'm laying on the ground eating pizza. Like I always wanted to take these pictures of my daughter, and we finally did it this time. They're gonna be cute. I cannot wait to see them. But I ate 2 pieces of pizza and a breadstick, and then I had a brownie after because it was Sunday and I was celebrating maternity photos, okay? And I got a 138 reading, but on the general daily basis, I'm like 70s, 80s, maybe 90s. Like you have to be under 120, and I'm usually not even over 100. So honestly, when I first started measuring testing my blood, I was like, did I get a false test? Because I'm nowhere near numbers. Like they want you to be, like I said, below 120. Now I just try to think of it more like, okay, you were really into nutrition and learning, and maybe this is a cool way to see that like bread spikes your blood sugar more than sugar does. How wild is that? Because seriously, like the highest numbers I've gotten is if I ate pizza or a bagel. Those are the 2 highest things. Oh, I ate peanut butter M&Ms once and I got a high number. Like other than that, sorry, my hiccups are back. The way I eat is just fine. Like my numbers are always fine. We're gonna keep monitoring it through pregnancy, but I won't have to be on insulin or anything like that unless something wild happens and my numbers are consistently like high. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything physically. Like I am having a harder time sleeping, like I just said, like propping all the pillows around me with the heartburn. And like last night, what's starting to happen is my hips are sore. Like I flip and I flop back and forth all night just because like your hips just start getting sore with all the weight on it, but you can't lay on your back or your stomach. So it's kind of like you try to be on different degrees of your side to kind of give it some relief. I've even like sat up, kind of like prop myself sitting up to try to just like sleep kind of like this. What else? I always feel like I'm gonna make these videos and then forget something. Another thing that happens is the boys are just having a party in there. The other morning it was 2:30 or 3:30 in the morning, and they were full on just moving around, and I couldn't sleep. I never went back to bed because it's really weird feeling that when you're trying to sleep, like just constant too. So yeah, I'm not like sleeping the best, but I try to take naps where I can. Like after I make this video, if my daughter's still sleeping, I will go take a 30-minute power nap or however long I can. Okay, so mentally, like I said kind of earlier, I kind of answered that. Like some days I cry, but I try to stay positive. I feel so excited. I just feel like I wish my husband was off right now, or, you know, a normal schedule and coming home every night, because this happened the last time too. It's kind of the nature of his job. The bulk of the last of my pregnancy was like fire season, and the same exact thing happened. There was a big fire. He was gone all the time. It's just kind of the nature of being married to a firefighter, but it's much harder having a toddler, I will say. It makes you feel like a lazy mom. Like I'm trying to allow my body to rest, so we watch a lot more TV than I would like and just stuff like that. But I'm trying to just remember, because everyone keeps telling me this is like such a small piece of time. Like it's gonna be gone in a blink, and then you can be more active with her. You'll have more energy. You'll have 2 babies that she'll want to play with. Like it's all gonna be good. I try to keep that in mind. But I did struggle with postpartum depression after having my daughter. I had given up my job. I moved out of my workspace. And so that was kind of weird for me to be like a stay-at-home mom and feel like I had nothing outside for myself. So I started going to therapy like back in February, I think maybe January, February, because I knew I was going to try to get pregnant again, and I was like wanting to go into it more prepared, whether it was having to deal with not getting pregnant again or getting pregnant again and preparing mentally for like having more kids and the aftermath of that. I didn't end up getting to continue with that therapist because of my husband's schedule shifting. Like, he has worked weekends for 6 months, and he was just literally, this last weekend was supposed to be his first weekend that was a weekend off for the rest of the year. He wasn't supposed to work weekends, and we have this fire now, so I'm trying to maintain, you know, there's so much, it could be so much worse. Like, I get to see him every other day. If there was a fire down hours away from me, I wouldn't get to see him. He'd be gone for weeks. So it really is like best case scenario. Point of this is I got in with a therapist who has a better availability, so it doesn't hinder me from going. And I had my first appointment with her. His schedule doesn't hinder me from going, so I had my first appointment with her last Thursday. So I see her again next Thursday, like 2 weeks later. And I'm telling you, I feel like I got more out of that one session than like the 3 or 4 that I had done with that other therapist. And not that she wasn't nice, but you just vibe with different therapists. She was my first time going alone. I had gone to marriage counseling, but I had never gone to a therapist by myself until the one in this beginning of the year. So it was really cool last week going and seeing that therapist and feeling so much more like, okay, I like this woman. I'm getting so much out of this. Like, it's clicking. So mentally, she is going to help me prepare for postpartum. I hope I can see her a time or two before I give birth, because I don't know why when I was moving right now, I keep telling my husband, babe, I don't want to manifest them coming too early. Like, I want them to be healthy and fully cooked, so we're not in the NICU forever, because it's very common for twins to be in the NICU, but because they usually come 36 weeks is average, they want you to make it to 38. That's when I'm going to be induced. So I'm due October 11th. They want to induce me like the last week of September if I'm not already given birth. But I just have this feeling they're going to come earlier than that. I keep telling my husband, we need to pack our hospital bag. Like, I feel like it could happen anytime. And I know that's scary to him. He's like, you're 31 weeks. Like, what do you mean? But I'm telling you, I'm an intuitive person, and I don't want them to come yet, but I don't think I'm making it to 38 weeks. I just don't feel that way. I don't know why. And maybe I'll get to 38, and when I make a video about it, I can say I was wrong. But I just feel like I'm a small person. I gave birth to my daughter 1 day early. This is my second pregnancy. It's twins. Like, I just feel like they're gonna come a little bit earlier. And I pray everything is good and healthy. And I'm gonna try to keep them in as long as I can. And that is that. There was something I was just gonna say, and it went out my brain. What was it? Oh, they are not breech. So I wanna say the last time I made a video, I can't remember if I knew they were breech, because I can't remember at what point I went to the sonogram place. It might've been right after, but so like I just said, they were breech, like they were feet down. And since I was like 20 whatever weeks, it wasn't a problem. There was still plenty of time for them to move. When I went a couple weeks back, they were both head down. So that is great news. I asked what the chance was for them to rotate again, and she said, oh, not very high, because the bigger they get, it would literally have to be them being like, okay, you move your arm here. Okay, I'm gonna move my leg here. I'm gonna move here, to get back the wrong way, because there's 2 of them in there, there's less room, so they're probably just head down now. So that is great news that they're in the right position, because as you know, if you watched my last video, it would be my preference to healthily be able to like vaginally deliver and not have to have a C-section, but C-sections are very common with twins, and so I'm mentally okay with that if that's what happens. I just want them out safe. Okay, so baby A, twin A, is totally healthy. Everything's all good. Twin B, basically the kidney is twice the size it should be. I think it should be like 0.7, gosh, is it millimeters? And it's 1.4, or is it centimeters? I don't know. Whatever it's supposed to be, it's twice that. The sonographer said, I wouldn't worry too much. I see this a lot. It's very common. I would say I would worry like 2 out of 10. What's making me worry less is there is a lot, like the fluid around the baby is totally normal looking. So it's not like they aren't going to the bathroom, but there is urine backed up in the kidney, dilating it, making it too big. Their little tissues and stuff are so little that it could be caused from him having his leg up like this, like for an extended period of time. And it cut off the the urination or whatever. So it could be, it's not anything you did. It could literally just be his positioning was weird for a minute. But basically, like, that can resolve itself before the baby even comes out. It usually resolves once they're out for a little while by itself, but it's just something to monitor. So that's a certain condition, but there's this other condition that presents itself in the beginning the same way that is very rare. That would mean once he was born, he would be referred to is it called a urologist? And he would have to have a little stent put in his, is it urethra for a boy? I don't know, like basically to help him go to the bathroom. Because like something about that tube is like a little bit shut, like causing some of the urine to back up in there. So all we're doing is praying that when I go back in like another 2 weeks to get seen at the sonography place, it's resolved itself and some of that fluid has gotten out of there. I really believe in positive thoughts and manifesting, so I've been thinking about it all the time and just like talking to him about it. So hopefully that's all good. But it didn't feel good to get like any type of message that something wasn't 100% perfect. Obviously, it's not anything to be super stressed out about. So I'm trying to, again, just, it's gonna be fine. We're monitoring it. We know it's there, and that's all we can do. It's out of our control. Stretch marks are getting crazy. That's another thing I always try to remember is like, they're really dark right now because of hormones. They're gonna go away and get lighter. That's what they did with my daughter, at least. Every woman is different, I'm sure, but like, it is just weird what happens to our bodies as women. We have to like mentally remember how amazing we are and how beautiful we are and how strong we are. You know, part of me wants to be just like doted over and complimented and like taken care of by my husband right now. And that's what's hard mentally for me, is like him being so tired and busy. It's like everything in him just to come home and like do the tasks that I'm asking him to do and be present with our daughter to help me out. I definitely don't have him helping me as much as the first round, but it allows me to go these hiccups, man. It allows me to go like hang out and take a nap or take a bath or whatever. So he's been better with like the words part because he can't like physically be there for me as much this time. And he's just like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a great job. You should be like when I complain about being tired, he's like, you should be tired. Like, you're growing twins. So I'm just grateful that I have such a supportive partner, because I can't imagine doing this shit with someone that wasn't that way. Like, I'm telling you, it's just, I feel very lucky, and you need to have support, you know. And sometimes for people, maybe that doesn't come in the form of a spouse, but like you really need people around you when you're growing a human that are there for you, because I can tell you mentally how much of a difference it has made for me. My mother-in-law, same thing. I could like, so stupid, the hormones that come, but like my mother-in-law has told me several times, like, I'm just so proud of you. And it makes me just feel so good. Before I ramble too much longer, I think that's everything I have to say. Like I said, I'll pop anything in tomorrow if I forgot anything. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you are pregnant with twins, write down a comment to me. I would love to read it. That's been really fun too, like talking to other twin moms. I feel like they're just coming out of the woodworks, and I meet them all the time now. I literally talked to one today. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful in some way. I will be back hopefully with another update before these boys come. If not, of course I'll be back after. But I will see you soon with another video.